Saber enthusiast. I am Nick Nitro, and I am the Lord of the Crucible. Today we are here to conduct our review of the SabNeo V8 NeoPixel lightsaber. The one thing that I have found very interesting about this is that there are certain NeoPixel products that do not work completely with this saber. By that I mean I have a NeoPixel blade plug-in here that I made using a stock V3 NeoPixel connector, and if the saber's already turned on and I insert it, it'll light up. But once I turn it off and turn it back on, nothing. So there are some differences in NeoPixel products. If you need to get a replacement blade, I would recommend that you probably would be best off going to SabNeo and getting one of their replacement blades. The good news is that they are relatively inexpensive by comparison, but they probably have fewer pixel counts in the blade. That being said, this is actually a really good entry-level NeoPixel lightsaber. I was able to find a discount code through the Dano channel. I'll go ahead and post a link down to his channel, that specific video, so that if the code is still available, this was $125 total. Now, the only thing that I found that might be of a concern is right around here on this edge of the emitter. As I'm spinning with it, it can kind of wear or dig a little right up here, but then again I choke up kind of high. If you spin lower, it's not going to be much of an issue. Now if you're looking at dueling with the lightsaber, check with your dueling organization. These crowns on the emitter, they're very thick, they're very hefty, and it's going to be interesting to see how they hold up in testing. But there are some dueling organizations that will not allow a crowned emitter, so check with your organization first. That being said, there are a ton of sound fonts on here. We're going to go through all of those, and we're going to go ahead and go through all of the lighting effects and the controls. So before we get into all of that, let's get our usual measurements that we do out of the way first. That way we've got all of our data set and ready to go for our database, and well, then we can get on to all the good stuff. Yeah. Alright, so now we're going to cover some of the controls for this. You'll notice that there are two buttons here. Nice little two-button config. And you've got your power button and your auxiliary button. The first thing I'm going to start you out with is the volume control. You do that by pressing both of these buttons at the same time. Get that little notification. This button takes you down, this one takes you up. And you hear those little notes. You get down to the bottom, that's your mute, and you've got 5 adjustment levels to the top. And then to lock it in, you press both buttons, and you hear that beep. So of course, this will be your main activation switch, and this is your auxiliary switch. So, that controls your ignition, all the effects, things like that. We're going to go into all of that in a little more detail. Press it again and it turns off. Now that retraction, it has 3 different retractions, but you cannot control them. It will randomly select a retraction each time you ignite the Saber. There's the other one, we got lucky on that. Yep, it went back there. Come on. There's number 3. Like I said, completely random. There we go. That was number 3. A quick tap right here on your auxiliary button will change your sound font.
I've been waiting for this day for a long time. Goes.
A long hold on that button changes the blade style. So in this case, you have Ghost. Oh, and we just changed the sound font. Ghost is an interesting one where it does not show the blade until it moves. Kind of interesting. Now, a long hold on the ignition button, your activation switch, will change your pre-ignition. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you which one it is. That's the only sound you get. So it changes your pre-ignition. And you've got quite a few of these to work with. So we will go ahead and go through all of the preons, all of the blade styles, when we do the full sound font demo. Let's ignite this. To change the color, you hold the blade down, with it ignited. Hold the auxiliary button, and then rotate it. Just like that. And then with the blade off, doing the same thing, will initiate your music tracks. So 3 music tracks, I think it's something like 9 blade styles, 9 preons, and 16 sound fonts. So give me just a moment here to get reset. I'm going to change things around a bit and we'll start going through the sound fonts and all of the different looking blades and everything.